Hey everybody, back out here working on this fence again. Hot June day, third week of June, and man is it humid. But you know, we finished paddock 1 out there, so now we're going to be doing 2 and 3. I just want to show you where we are so far. So in the process of laying out pasture number 2, came into this 2 big Leland cypresses here that were kind of right in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside over here, and posts are going to go down here on the ground on the outside of the tree, and I'm going to use this tree as a shade barrier. And I know you're not supposed to trim Leland cypresses this way, and I really don't care because I was going to take them down. But this is the Leland cypress right here. Before, it's probably 25 feet tall, and I couldn't even get under it to mow. But what I did over here with the sister tree, I trimmed it up. And again, I know all you arborists out there are going to say it's not what you're supposed to do, but it's still going to live, and animals are going to be able to get underneath it now and use this for a shade area. You can see how much shade's there, and it's low enough to where they're going to be able to get up in there next to the trunk and scratch their backs. So I'll do the same with this tree over here. They'll actually be able to go right through the middle right there and scratch either side of them. So I think this is going to work out pretty good, considering I was going to take them completely down. So it's going to give them some shade in this area. It'll be nice. So y'all remember paddock 1. The only thing that's different is I planted a water line right here, put a farm faucet over here, put a splitter on it, and wash my hands over here, or water this paddock if I wanted to. And I've got 2 Rainbird 25 psi reducers on there, so it reduces the city water down to 25 psi. Then I hooked a washing machine hose up, and they're used to being under large amounts of psi for a long time, so I just screwed it to the crossbar, ran it over to the water trough, and got the water trough sitting on a rubber mat. So it worked out real good. But now here we are over here to paddock 2, and this is going to be my gate right here. And got all the holes drilled. The reason I'm drilling holes and not driving them is because the majority of this I'm doing by myself, and I can't drive by myself. So that's a 2-man job. So I can do this. I can do 10 at a time, or just until I get tired and sweaty, and then I can go in. But look how I laid out the fence. I laid it out to where the windmill is on the outside and the water trough will be on the inside. That way the horses and mules aren't going to be able to get up on the windmill and scratch on it and all that. That goes all the way down to the Leland cypress down there. Comes down to the Leland cypress here. And then from the Leland cypress, it will go up and catch that back paddock back there that's got real poor wire on it that won't even hold in a goat. And then this over here will be paddock number 3. So coming up from the Leland cypress, see exactly where the fence is going to go. It'll go right up and it'll catch into this fence, and it'll run all the way down to the bottom down there. So it'll come all the way down here into this corner, and then from this corner it will go over. You see all the posts are in the ground, and it'll go over there and catch paddock number 1. So this whole area right here will be paddock 2. See the windmill up there? And that will be watering paddock 2. And then over here is paddock 3. And up here, so this entire fence line right here is coming out, and it will take up a new residence on this fence row right here. So paddock 2 is over here, paddock 3 is over here. Right now, paddock 3 is about an acre in size, and it will increase by about 1/2 of an acre when we include everything on this side of the driveway where the posts are. This gate right here will take up a new residence right here, and it'll be mounted to the post that's right there, or going right there rather, and it will take up that residence. And then directly across the pasture is the gate going into paddock number 1. Airplanes are out today. They're towing up the gliders. That's what that airplane is you're hearing in the background. You see that gate over there in paddock 1. So they'll be able to go from paddock 1 to paddock 2 and then to paddock 3 without ever leaving the pasture. I can just rotate them around for rotational grazing. And I'll wind up with 9.5 acres. You see the driveway way down there where that car's going by right now. I'll wind up with 9.5 acres out here, and it'll be cross divided into 3 paddocks. The first one will be just over 3 acres. Second one will be 4.4 acres roughly. And then paddock 3 will be 1.5 acres. And then the remaining 10 acres back there, I'm going to leave for hay until I need it for pasture. Once I need it for pasture, then we'll fence that in back there. So in October, here we are, 3rd week of June, like I said earlier. In October, they're gonna come and build a barn, just a very basic barn up here. And they're going to build a pole barn over here to the right of the shop for me to store the trailers underneath and anything else I need to store. So that'll be good to finally get those. In the process of drilling these holes, I inadvertently hit the water line. I thought I knew where it was, and I was about 1 foot off, and I hit it dead center. Not a big deal. I know exactly where it is now. I had to tap into it anyway to get water into paddock 3. So the first paddock and the 3rd paddock will be on city water, and the 2nd paddock will be on well water with the windmill. And then the windmill will be providing water to the trees and the fruit trees and blueberry bushes and stuff like that. So here's fence row coming down to the Leland cypresses. And this hole right here smacked right into that water line. You can see where the post was gonna go. You can see where I hit it. And that is the fence row, just right in line. I thought it crossed right here, which is why I have it painted, but I'm a couple of feet off. I said 12 inches, I'm about 2 feet. But what it did is it goes over, circles around, and it goes over there to that blue bucket. And as you come down the driveway, it'll curve around the Leland cypresses, go up. This is the bottom of paddock 2 and the bottom of paddock 3. You see where they're intersected there. And it'll go right up the driveway. And I got about 15 feet off the driveway. That way, if I have a get together, a party, or a bunch of friends, or a training session or anything, you'll be able to park over here, park your trailers over here and whatnot. And I've done that all the way up the driveway, so you can do that from the street all the way up. So that way you're not just trying to drive around in the pasture and park. This is that cheap fence I was telling you about. This is just cheap welded wire. It's a step up from chicken wire, but not much. See how the goats have bent it over? Previous owner put this up to keep goats in. but they didn't keep it sprayed down with Roundup or anything, and so all this vegetation has grown up in here, and it's just a total mess. You can see down there at the bottom where the goats have been going over, so their answer was to put up 4x8 sheets of plywood. Here's a bunch of the wire I've already torn off and folded up, plywood that they had up, and then boards down at the bottom to try to hold them in. Just a total mess. But now look at it. So this is separating paddock 2 and paddock 3. That fence line over there is the one I was showing you that I haven't gotten to yet, but it will look like this when I'm done. And then I'll strand this in 4 wire just like I did out there at paddock 1. The posts are pretty solid. I got to strip all the staples and nails and electrical connectors and everything off of them yet, but you can see how clean it is now. Like I said, the posts are pretty solid, so I'm just going to leave them and put my wire up on them. So that's just a quick fencing update. The Percherons are still scheduled to be here mid-August. The barns are scheduled to be here October, and I'll be doing a 4-month fly predator update next week. Thanks for watching.